for the one night, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you coming in for an event or just coming in to visit?
What, the SRA conference or the Palm Tree conference?
One moment.
Oh, boy. I tell you. Hey, Marge, can you bring me a cup of coffee? Thanks. From Ralph Cramden.
Sounds like him.
I do sound like him? How are you doing? How are you doing today, ma'am?
Just a minute.
How's the weather in your area?
Yeah, it's getting there. Good. Just want to check your... one moment, please.
Thank you.
Have you registered for this Plum Tree conference, sir, or...
Oh, it's Plum Tree, or is it Palm Tree?
Palm Tree.
Oh, you do find a Palm Tree conference there?
Yeah, there is, but it's rooming list only, which leads me to believe there's some sort of pre-registration, and then they have your name, and then they make the reservation for you.
Oh, yes, yes, David Rockefeller.
No, but just a minute.
Hey, can you check and see if my name's there?
I will.
La da da da. Oh, I'm sorry. Guys, turn that music off. I enjoy it too much. I'm over here at the office. I shouldn't be doing this on my lunch break, but, you know, you got to book these vacations sometimes. I heard they got a good golf course nearby.
They do. They do. 1st of June. One moment. I don't have your name yet. The block of rooms does not close does not shut down until the 11th, which is 2 days from now, and that's when the names should be coming in. Okay,
okay. Okay, can I separately book a room there, or is the...
No, you could do that.
Okay, so the hotel is not booked up for those days?
Yeah, it is. Unfortunately, it is, sir. I just checked that.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, there are 6 Marriotts in the area. The closest one with availability is the Fairfax Fair Oaks, 6 miles east, or the Washington Dulles.
Hold on, ma'am. I've actually got... I'm booking it for him, but I've got David Rockefeller here right with me. Can I just put him on the phone with you so he can do it?
Yeah. Certainly.
Hold on one second. Hey, Dave, come on over here. Yes, sir. Sir, please don't call me sir. I'm your assistant. Very well. Hello there, young lady. How are you taking all your vaccines like you're supposed to?
Yes, sir.
Good. Yeah. What do you think of global government, huh? Have you heard of my family?
Do you want to book at another hotel, Mr. Rockefeller?
Well, dearie, I'll be there. Don't worry. That rascally rabbit, Alex Jones, will probably be bullhorning me.
Okay. Disconnecting.
All right. Good evening, my dear. Bye-bye. Well, that little tip, that little bird about the Palm Tree Conference, you know, they death threatened my wife last time I went and bullhorned them. They are certainly not going to be happy about this. Oh, man. Oh, boy, I don't even know if I can continue now. This is total Twilight Zone. All right, that's definitely where they're having it. We've made like 4 or 5 of these calls on air. That poor lady, I was just doing a David Rockefeller thing. I was about to ask her, are you going to be there when I'm there? What? But I wasn't going to do it. I was going to be really bad. I was going to be really bad. Oh, I forget I'm on radio sometimes. I really do. I'm more eloquent when I'm not on the radio. That's actually not true. Sometimes when I'm directing shoots out there, I hear myself talking in the background on the tapes later, and it sounds like some cross between an Appalachian hillbilly and an East Texan, which I guess I kind of am in a way. By the way, I wasn't bashing Appalachian hillbillies last night on the news when I was comparing the Taliban to souped-up hillbillies. I was explaining that it's hard for the globalists to take over groups like that. That's all I was saying. You know, just talking about hillbillies is not insulting them. I have a real live hillbilly working out there in the control room right now, don't I? He does a great job. The truth is the hillbillies have the advanced, supercharged brain cells. I myself am a super supreme, purebred hillbilly. Anyways, continuing here, ladies and gentlemen. That was funny. Am I wrong, or was that funny just now? Doing the David Rockefeller invitation. I should have done it a lot better, though. Like, oh, well, I guess I'll need some help there. All right, that's enough. That's enough. I'm like the Hell 9000. Just a moment. Just a moment. We have a lot of important news here. FEMA coffins being moved northbound on Georgia Highway. There's photos of that at Before It's News. We'll get those up at Infowars.com. Congressional Democrats introduce amendment to outlaw self-defense. Well, that sounds reasonable. Democrats have now withdrawn the Trayvon amendment for now. That's just some of the news we have there. And some of the other self-defense news here. UK bans self-defense expert from entering country. Government wants a nation of cowardly, defenseless victims. The UK government has banned self-defense expert and former U.S. Navy SEAL Tim Larkin from entering the country after Larkin planned to hold seminars instructing people how to protect themselves from rioters and criminals. Well, the government's a bunch of riotous, globalist criminals, so they certainly cannot allow that, my pretty. Continuing here with the news, Google self-driving car licensed to hit Nevada streets. Google modified Toyota Prius was given the thumbs up after successful test drives in Carson City and on the Vegas Strip. And they're going to say that cars drive better than us. They've already been covering up wrecks with them in the last few years in other parts of the country. And pretty soon, you won't be allowed to drive your own car or 18-wheeler because the insurance companies are the big banks, are the New World Order. There's another article here, spy blimps in the UK and U.S. skies. The media is now ready to tell us what I told you about 10 years ago. Also, there's more news. The DOJ is being told by Congress, if you won't give us Fast and Furious docs, we're going to dock your pay. Well, you're going to dock the mafia's pay. And then another video report from last night, circling the globalist rat hole, Occupy Bilderberg gains momentum. And again, my Occupy Bilderberg is peacefully to surround the place, have alternative media coverage because we're the real media, and try to have such a spectacle of at least a few thousand people there. I think we should go for, I think we should all shoot for, guys, pull up the calendar. What is June 1st? What is that, a Friday? Pull that up. I want to think of the best day, because you'll have like 300 people one day and 200 another, and then 100 the next and 200. We need to like focus on one day. Obviously, we can be there the whole time, but one day, 1 hour, where everybody agrees that we're going to surround that place like Jericho and basically, you know, bullhorn them from all directions. That is a nice calendar. They just put a calendar on screen. I can't even see anything on it. It doesn't matter. It is a Friday. I think a lot of people are having to work, having to do stuff. But if you can take off that Friday, Saturday probably be the best day, but they'll already all be inside then. Really, though, Thursdays when they arrive, some arrive Friday. So really the best time, I think, is we should have one event Friday at, say, 6 o'clock there at the Westfields Marriott outside on the sidewalk. And then we should have one, say, Saturday at 5 o'clock as well. In fact, let's just say Thursday, if you can be there, starting at 1, because that's when a lot of them are arriving. That's a prime time. Thursday at 1, Friday at 5, Saturday at 5, Sunday at 1, because that's when they're leaving, is right around that time. And but we need one big mass point. So let's say it's Saturday evening. Everybody be there at 5 o'clock. Come with your wagons, come with your, you know, everything. Just be there. It's like a wagon train. Everybody needs to be there. That's Eastern time in Virginia, not InfoWars time from Hillbilly Command Base, Austin. Oh, man. Anyways, I don't know why I'm having such a good time today. I got a lot of callers here. We're going to come back and jam a few of those in. Aaron, Bill, Kim, John, Stan will try to get to all of you here coming up. A lot of other news as well that's up at Infowars.com and Prisonplanet.tv. The bankers are strangling Europe as usual, sucking everything out of them, with the prostitute media telling them that the public, that the debt is owed by them, not by the bankers. 90+% of it in derivatives. We got big reports on that. Spain bank problems loom over markets. We told you Spain would come next. The globalists are gobbling each country kind of a la carte, like, bring me a ham sandwich, and then they eat that country. Bring me a filet mignon, and they bring them that country. Bring me another. And then it's just how they operate.
A little over a year ago, I began to do a lot of...
Because there's a war on for your mind.
Yeah, the CIA has foiled its own CIA plot, and then they're congratulating themselves because that info leaked out. Another provocateur action. We're going to cover that in detail tonight on the InfoWars Nightly News. Let's jam in some more calls. Aaron in California. Go ahead. You're on the air.
Hey, Alex, first-time caller, so I'm a little nervous. But real quick before I get on to my question, I just want to thank you and your team for doing what you guys are doing. Waking me up, I appreciate that fully, and I'm trying to wake up as many people as I can. But let me get on to my question. I'm 17, and I've been watching you for about 2 years, and I'm trying to get my dad involved. But the only problem is I showed him some of your documentaries, and he falls asleep in the middle of them, or he just doesn't, he's not interested. And every time I try to tell him, breaking news story, he laughs it off. He knows the government's corrupt, but he just feels so powerless, like he can't do anything. And, he spent 20 years in the military, and I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But it kind of saddens me because I want him on my team, and I want to prepare.
Well, look, it's always hard for a father to listen to his son and for parents to respect their children. That's just the way it is. Okay, I mean, even if you become more successful than your parents, a lot of times they're just geared. Family is the hardest to sell. Ideas or a vacuum cleaner. Any salesman will tell you that. Any politician will tell you that. Any psychologist will tell you that. So just move on. Try to wake up others, and then as things begin to unfold, your dad will remember it and respect you. But you've got to excel at a bunch of other stuff before you start telling them political ideas, because they tend to think, oh, youth are being filled full of, these ideas and stuff. But, all you're doing is repeating what the Founding Fathers would talk about. It's common sense. It's the rediscovery of that. Love your dad. I'm sure he's a great guy. He says he knows it's corrupt. He does have a feeling of helplessness. So go out and show him. Start a local radio show. Start a podcast. Start doing your own videos. Start getting thousands of people to watch them. Talk about issues. Go out and do your own reports. And then he'll start to listen to you if you want to get your dad awake. But listen, most people sit on the fence even if they're awake. It's always minorities on the side of evil and minorities on the side of good, and that's where the battle is. That's why they always want to make you feel powerless. The truth is, you just got to stop caring, not have fear. That means not fear what your neighbors think. When you get to my level, it's fear of attack, fear of death, fear of whatever, and just make it all a big joke. The joke's on them. All their fear, all their garbage, all of it, I'm just not partaking in it. I've got my afterburners on. That's the end of it, and this feels good. I'm on the right side of history, so bombs away in the info war. God bless you, my friend. Let's go ahead and take a call from Kim in Florida. Kim, you're on the air.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, this is my first time calling, too, so I'm kind of nervous like the last caller was.
Well, don't be nervous there.
Okay. Well, I'm watching some of I've never listened to you live on the radio. I've just watched some of the InfoWars things on YouTube, and the 9/11 truth thing I'm really interested in a lot. But I caught just the tail end of the guy talking about David, your last guest there. He was talking about that Army doc. What was that? I missed that whole thing.
Yes, ma'am. That's a story at Infowars.com that really should be red-linked. The Army admits there's a plan for re-education camps and brainwashing and stuff for the American people. They admit the document's real. Then they engage in a psyop, a total disdain for the American people, and say it isn't for the U.S., even though it says it more than 30 times in the document. So the article is at Infowars.com. Army admits Army admits re-education camp manual not intended for public release. So there it is. Infowars.com is the coordinates.
Now, also, since I'm new to all this, and I'm trying to talk to my husband about it, he's also ex-military, like the last caller. Is there a timeline that you have that I could access anywhere that shows okay, what was some of the first things that happened that made you wake up?
Ooh, that's a really good idea. We've done some of those before in general history, but we need a timeline of the police state globalist takeover and how they're doing it. Great point. We'll try to do that sometime next week on the Nightly News, then air it